It'll take time to restore chaos.
For what might initially seem like the most obvious and simple film you could make about environmentalism and littering, there are a surprising number of directions you can take when doing an analysis of WALL-E. Environmentalism, yes, but also corporate overreach and idolatry, over-reliance on technology and the disconnect and damage in humanity that can cause, nostalgia, romantic feelings versus cold hard logic and data, stewardship and how it can lead us to the true light of God. I can see it. All very interesting angles that I won't be touching with a 2-meter pole. Because while you could absolutely fill a video with any one of those ideas, none of them are as interesting to me as the thought I had less than 2 minutes into the film, and have continued to carry with me long after the credits finished rolling. And that thought was, WALL-E's kinda living the dream, isn't he? And I'm not talking about the WALL-E at the end of the film with the human friends and the girlfriend and the recovering Earth. No, I'm talking about the beginning of the film, blue-collar worker who lives by himself with a roach in a planet-sized landfill. Let's take a look at what WALL-E's situation is, right? Removed from the context of the film. WALL-E is a guy who has a fulfilling job that he is well suited for and seems to genuinely take pride and joy in, while also having enough free time to partake in leisure, as well as his own personal hobbies. He also doesn't work out of economic necessity, as all of his essentials, be they nourishment, health or shelter, all appear to be in abundance and within arm's reach. He also owns his own property, which is bigger and more homely than the 2-bedroom flat that I rent, and he's not even paying £1,000 a month for it. And he has a pet. Seemingly the only thing that WALL-E lacks in life is companionship, but brother, I wish loneliness was the only problem in my life. It's funny because you're obviously meant to look at the Earth itself, the world around WALL-E in despair, question how and why this could have happened to it, and see it as unquestionably a bad thing. But WALL-E's way of life within that world, at least from my POV, almost feels like it's meant to be aspirational. At the very least, it feels like it's meant to be relatable to the audience, at least in comparison to the passengers of the Axiom, who almost feel like the foil to him. Like WALL-E, all their basic needs are met, but rather than this giving them the opportunity and freedom to pursue their interests and hobbies and find work that suits and appeals to them, the humans have simply given up all their agency in favor of becoming mindless consumers whose lives, routines, thoughts and education is dictated to them by the by and large corporation, who through some form of corpocracy or reverse state capitalism, there's probably a better term for it, basically run society up to and including the ship's administration. And I think it's interesting how these two completely different lifestyles have arisen from deceptively similar situations. I think the key factor separating WALL-E and the Axiom passengers is that the society of the Axiom still takes place within the framework of a hierarchical capitalist economy where active consumption of products and profit motive are still a big, probably the biggest factor. Those basic necessities aren't there for them to use as they need, it is given to them on the terms of the by and large corporation, whereas WALL-E, can you even have an economy by yourself? Whereas WALL-E, by the simple virtue of not existing in a society where his primary function is that of a consumer, is afforded a lot more freedom and agency despite, or because, the basic necessities of food, shelter and healthcare are all available to him. Or perhaps it's more accurate to say that those resources are simply within his ownership, giving him the opportunity to use them as he pleases and as he needs while he goes about his life. Yeah, he has his programming, his directive that drives him to do a job, but he has no hierarchy telling him to do so. I think if you put most people in a position like that, sure, you'd get some slugs and sloths, but I think most people want to feel like they're doing something productive with their time, just something productive they aren't forced into and actually speaks to them as people. Now, is this video about to turn into an ad for anarcho-communism? No. mostly because I don't know enough about it to endorse it yet. I'm just saying, when I see a robot stuck all alone on a polluted, trash-filled Earth who spends most his days picking through landfills, and the first thing I feel is envy, kinda says something about where we're at, no? No, I don't wanna burn out, you know I'd rather fade. Tell my landlord, rip the check up. I live my life on stage, my life is survival horror. Good thing I'm Leon K, giving grace to any other who cannot find their way.